welcome Gautam Shivoham, Sudeep Bhargava, Shivoham, GVK Raju, Rajendra, Girish, Lakshmi, Gaurish, Shivoham, Ashok Mohan. I can't see you very, but welcome Ashok Mohan, Shivoham, Sagairaj, Veena, Atmatray. Shivoham sir, welcome all of you and the rest whom I cannot see. Many of you I cannot see, but I can still welcome you to the call. The question they asked me today was, the question, how can you never be the same once you realize the truth? Who wants to attempt? How can you never be the same once you realize the truth? Little tricky. We have had some similar questions, but it's little tricky. Who would like to go?
Shivoham Guruji, Kumar.
Shivoham Kumar Swami.
Actually, sir, if something newborn, for example, one tree is there, sir. One tree is there. Before cut, it was a tree. After cut the tree, it will become wood. From the wood, we will make some chairs, some cots, so many things. So it is taking different births. I can say it is giving a birth to chair. It is giving birth to some cot. So name we are giving after birth. Is it not? New birth.
Okay.
Earlier it was wood. So in the same fashion, when a person is evaluating to non-truth, ignorance to truth, so he is changing his name. So it doesn't. I think it is okay. What I mean to say is it has to be done. It has to be given the name.
The question is slightly different. How can you never be the same once you realize the truth? You are talking about wood and all, okay, but we are talking about you as a human being. This is not a analogy. How can you, Kumar Swami, how can you never be same once you realize the truth? Please give me from your perspective.
Okay, sir. Earlier I was in the materialistic world because now I have changed into spiritual world. Now I realized to go for moksha and all. So whatever the evolution I have taken for realization and all, so it is a one type of birth, new birth. See,
yeah, so what
ignorance to knowledge.
I'm trying in the next 5 minutes I have on this subject. I want to guide you all on a very important subject.
Okay.
So who can explain? I think Ashok Chotwani, you wanted to say.
Yes, sir, sure.
How can you never, I'm only very clear. This time I'm asking a very clear question. How can you, as Ashok Chotwani, never be the same once you realize the truth? Explain.
Sure, sir. Sir, I will never be same after realizing the truth. Because after realizing that this world is cosmic drama, this world is Maya.
Then
and I am not a body, mind, and ego.
Correct.
So I will be liberated from the problem, from the pains of body, mind, and ego. Further, I realize that I am nothing. God is everything. So I will live in Satyachit Anand, sir. So my life will be changed.
You are speaking 100% what the air philosophy is. I appreciate 100% word to word you are speaking. But tell me, how will you, Ashok Chotwani, not be the same once you... Okay, I'm asking a very direct question. Have you realized the truth or not yet?
No, sir, but my life is now changed, totally changed after realizing. So I am fearless.
Have you attained full realization or not yet?
No, not 100%, but up to 60-70% I have attained it, sir.
So when you attain 100%, how will your life not be the same? Or tell me in that 60-70%, if you say you have realized, how has your life changed? Give a practical example. Give a group the practical example how your life has changed.
So now I am totally fearless. So
very good. So
I have no
anything else. Fearless, one point you're given. Practical point. Any other point?
Yeah. And always live in Satyachit Anand, sir.
But that is okay. But that does not say how your life will never be the same again. How? Because in the past your life you are full of fear. Now your life is with fearless. You will never be in fear again. That is a good point. But Satchitanand is
But
a
actually,
state.
his sound is not proper, sir.
You can hear me. Can you hear me, Sudeep? Can you hear me, Sudeep?
Yes,
Savita,
yes.
can you-
Yes, yes.
Okay, so my sound is okay, Ashok. Just check your
Yes.
connection. Okay, who else? Next, Sudeep Bhargava.
Shivam, sir.
Sudeep Bhargava.
Okay.
So let Dattatreya sir say. I'll speak
Okay.
later, sir.
Yes,
Let
Sudeep, yeah,
Atma
you can
try
start.
first for Atma. First Atma try chance. Sudeep wants you
Okay,
to
okay.
speak.
Okay. Sir, before some months ago, I was fear about I will caught by Maya and get involved in the but nowadays I have got some standard, some qualities that I have confidence, gross of God. I can reach up to my destination, up to enlightenment. I think this is due to the realization only.
No, good.
And,
But see what Atma try. What
yeah.
I want this question to help the group.
Yes, yes. Or when sir milk
One second.
becomes
No, one
milk
second.
becomes
The question.
yes,
Atma
yes.
Tray,
I
one minute.
understand the question.
You understand the question? How
Yes,
can you never be the same after you realize the truth?
A simple example: when milk it mix with the water, but when it is become a lonely cheese, it water cannot mix with the cheese
Okay.
because
Okay.
it transform. It is
So you're saying
a,
that in other words, what you're saying is no, Atma Tray cannot become Dattatray, is what you're telling.
yes, 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 sure.
Huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. So Sudeep Bhargava,
Shivam sir.
Shoham.
Sir, suppose if there was a person who used to fight for even 10 rupees with other person, and one day he realizes that he has lots of money, crores of money in his account, then obviously he will stop fighting for those 10 rupees because he already knows that I've got such a big amount, so why should I fight for such a petty amount? It's the same example that you used to give, that a beggar becomes a king, but when he again wears the clothes of the beggar, he remembers that he is the king because of that silk clothes that he was wearing. So once we realize that we have a much bigger source of happiness, which is already inside, I will definitely stop looking for the happiness outside.
Okay, you're talking about in future tense. How can you, Sudeep Bhargava, never be the same because you have realized certain truth? Can you
Sir,
give
I
some
can,
examples?
although I'm sure that my answer is not correct, but I'm giving a very practical thing that has happened with me. Is every time I know that there could be some circumstances which can pull me back into the how I was a few years back, I always visit the temple and I remember you, and I always tell myself I have to come back and face you and Lord Shiva also. So I should not feel ashamed at that point of time. That stops me from not rolling back into the past thing. So that is one change that has really been, that has came in, because I always want to be like, no, look into your eyes and tell you, yes, sir, I have changed. So I should not be doing anything wrong. So at least that stops me from rolling back.
Okay. Girish, can you give us some how can you never be the same once you realize the truth, Girish?
Let us assume that I am enlightened
Correct.
or realized.
Correct.
Once I am enlightened, I am no more I. I am no more me.
Good.
I am no more influenced negatively by my mind and ego.
Correct.
So the entity which called me, which I used to refer as me, I, mine, will only get reduced to transactional world, not to my identity. I become Atma. So I can never be the same which I used to be earlier.
Thank you. A good ability to go to that position where, imagining if I was enlightened. But my dear friends, how can you never be the same once you realize the truth? Just like a caterpillar can never be a caterpillar when it becomes a butterfly. Once it becomes a butterfly, the cat. Now let me explain to you from my point of view. Maybe it will help you. Are you ready? Can I explain to you? Huh? What's this? Who else is it? Ashok Mohan, you want to say something, Ashok Mohan, before I continue?
Yeah, Shivam, sir.
Shiva,
Before moving into spirituality, I was very worried about all the materialistic things. So after chanting mantra and learning about Vedanta, the change which happened in my life is that I am getting least concerned about what I did not take with me to the next life, or I am becoming more and more selfless. So that's the main thing happening with me. I am becoming, I am not yet realized the truth fully, but slowly the change that is happening in me is I am more and more selfless and least concerned about.
because everything is Maya, everything is a Leela. Then
Yeah.
why should you worry about anything? One day
Yeah.
you are going to die, but death is
Yeah.
only of the body. So when you know all these truths, okay, thank you for coming and sharing your points, Ashok Mohan. I'm seeing you for the first time, so this call is every day at 8 o'clock, and please join whenever you can. So, my dear friends, let me tell you how I could never be the same once I realized the truth. Can I tell you what happened in my life? So I could never think I am son of my father. Although I respect my father, and although I respect my mother, and I still treat them like mother and father, I can never be the son of mother and father because I am not their son. I am Atma in Ravi. So this comes. I can never be the father of my son. I can never be the son of my father. I can never be the father of my son. Because who am I? I am not the father. The father is the father in heaven. I am just a contributor. I am just one spark. That spark also is not me. When you realize the truth, you can never be the same again. When you realize the truth, every aspect of your life will change. That's what I'm waiting to see in all of you. And I will see it in you point by point. It's very clear. If tomorrow, if anybody in front of me becomes a butterfly, can I see or I cannot see? Of course I can see. Immediately I can see and I can say, this is not a caterpillar, this is a butterfly. Because I have already myself gone through that stage of shedding my skin. So how can I never be the same? Once I realize who I am, I can never be the same. I can never believe that my property belongs to me. That's why I don't know if I've told you all, I don't sign a check. I don't handle cash. If I want 10,000 rupees also, I have to ask. I have to ask the cashier, can you please give 10,000? And cashier will ask for what you want. To give me money only, my cashier will ask me, why you want money? I say, I am going for travel. I need some money, please give. Say, please take. Because the cashier's job is to check check the money. It's not my job to check the money. And after I come back, the cashier will say, give account. Give account. What happened? How much money is spent? Yeah, because that's the job of the cashier, to check how much money has been spent. But what I'm saying, see, look at it. Because I have created a situation where I say nothing belongs to me. No, some other people may think this belongs to me, property belongs to me, this belongs to me, nothing belongs to me. So once you realize, once I have realized that, can I change? No, I can't change. I can't change. If nothing belongs to me, nothing belongs to me. If money is not mine, money is not mine. If the relationships are of soul to soul, the relationship is not body to body, skin to skin, I can't change it, my friends. So today the subject is, how can you never be the same once you realize the truth? If you turn it around, if you turn the question around, what would you say? Anybody wants to say? If you turn it around, you know what, how the question will come? Anybody? Anybody wants to try? If you reverse the question, what will happen? What is the question? What will it be? How can you never be the same once you realize the truth? The reverse question is, once you realize the truth, can you ever be the same? Once you realize that, so when you realize the truth, you can never be the same. And when you're never, and the other way, when you realize you are not the same, here it comes. When you realize you are not the same, then what does it mean? It means you are enlightened. The moment, Girish, you get this feeling, I am not Girish. Oh, I am not Girish, my name is Girish. The moment you start with this realization, I am not Girish. Oh, I am not this body. Oh, I am not the mind. The moment you start feeling the change, that also gives you the signal that you are enlightened. So I don't know whether you all are understanding what I'm saying. It is a little tongue twister, but please ask me questions if it is not clear. Administrator questions. Anybody with live questions? First live question. Anybody wants to have a live question? Because there are typed questions. Before I go to typed question, anybody wants, start your live questions.
Shams.
Yes, Atpatre.
I want to clear the doubt of respectful Kumar Swamiji. Yesterday they had asked why some people are just change their names. I want to clear for the detachment purpose. I'm not Dattatreya, I'm Atmatreya. And what our properties on my name, I want to give to the children's name. That I will get detached from the properties. That's why I changed the name. Yes.
Yeah, but
And,
I am not advising you to give away the properties until it is the appropriate time. Huh? So
yes,
for
sir.
me, why I'm saying is, in today's samsar,
Yeah.
you must be detached with your wealth, but you should be able to control it. It is called detached attachment. Because the
Okay.
moment you are giving away everything, then
Yeah.
sometime, like I told, right to the cashier, at least she will ask my question, but she has to follow me. Otherwise, tomorrow, if it is in her name, if she becomes authorized, then she may not even give me that. She may tell, no, I will not give. Then what will I do? Then I cannot even start the Zoom call. So we should not lose our independence. Thank you,
Yes, yes.
Atmatreya. Ashok Mohan
Okay.
wants to say something. Again, Ashok Mohan, you have a question? Ashok Mohan? You have to unmute. Please unmute and speak.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have continuously heard about the moksha, enlightenment, etc. So, what are the practical steps to experience it? Just by reading about the Vedanta, the moksha, and the jnana, can we get enlightened, or is there any practical steps?
Yeah. So, what you're reading is called jnana. Correct? What you're reading is knowledge. Knowledge must become realization. I give the, since you're coming new to the call, I'm telling you, just like if you put water in the fridge, does it become ice immediately?
No.
After it is below freezing point, when it freezes, the same water will become ice. So the knowledge you have got must crystallize into realization. How the knowledge must become realization is when you live in yoga. Yoga means union. You have to be able to live a life of, the yoga has got 4 cycles: dhyana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. When there is the 4 cycles and you are in the cycle of yoga, then you are on the highway of enlightenment. You are on the highway of more moksha. Then you have to pass 4 doors. The 4 doors are called Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Shampat, Mumukshutva. Means it is, Vivek is discrimination, Vairagya is renunciation, Shat Sampat is discipline, and Mumukshutvam is deep yearning for God. So there are some practical steps. Since the first day you are on this call, I don't know if you have read any of my books. I'm happy to send you the book. Please make note of the number if you don't have the number. You have our number, 555555 number.
No, no.
It is
No,
coming in the
sir.
chat now. Please write
Okay.
to me, and I will send you a few books which will help you to come on frequency with us. And then every day you will be here on the ask. If you're here on the question answer session, every day you will find new and new questions and answers which will help you to go forward on the path. Many practical ideas will come. Thank you.
Sure.
Yoga Narasimhan, please. Yoga Narasimhan.
Uh, like when we read about enlightened people and all, mostly all the Hindu saints and sadhus name only comes up. Like, have any of the Christians and Muslims also achieved
Yes.
enlightenment?
But see, let me explain to you. Their enlightenment is different. For example, they call it salvation. The Christians, they call it salvation. So they believe in going to a heaven. So how will they be able to attain nirvana and moksha? Nirvana, moksha is more an Eastern philosophy. So you will find Buddha, Adi Shankara, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Jain, this part of this Eastern culture, you will find names. Now, if you know, I don't know if you're familiar with this, huge following in America are Vedanta. Do you know that? For example, there's a Swami called Swami Krishnananda. What do you think he is? Hindu or what?
Name sounds Hindu only.
Yeah, but he's an American.
Oh.
He has converted to Swami Krishnananda. If you go to America, you will find hundreds of Swamis who are Americans, who are not Hindus.
So
Now-
one story, you remember one story, sir, in the temple used to say that Anil Haq, one man was shouting.
Yeah.
That
So
guy
good.
isn't-
So good.
is he
Thank you for bringing my mind back. Because see what happens, those are Sufis, Rumi and Rumi's guru was called Shams Tabriz. Shams Tabriz and Rumi, these all Anhalak is to the part of Sufi. In Islam, we don't talk about Islam because they get offended. So we don't talk about Islam because we don't want to offend anybody. You agree with me? We don't want to. Sometimes we refer to Christian because they don't get offended. So we talk about it. So Anhalak story is that man. Anhalak means I am Allah. That's what I am Allah. I am Allah. So when that happened, he told his devotees, his followers came and told him the next morning, when you were in your masti, when you were in your ecstasy, divine ecstasy, you were saying Anhalak. His name is, I think, Mansur. His name is Mansur. The name of the saint. So he said, no, how could I say? Then the next day he told, okay, if I am saying like this, you take a sword and you cut off my head. So what they did when he was saying Anhalak, they took a sword and they cut his head. But they could not cut his head. They say the sword was passing through. Now they don't know, right, what exactly happened, how it happened, when it happened. But this is a story. This is a story which is there, and we don't have to worry about these things.
One more thing. What I wanted to say is like even if the Muslims and Christians get enlightened, I don't think so. They'll be giving up on non-veg and all that, no, sir, because their general food only is non-vegetarian.
No,
Like
how
if you
does
want to go on a spiritual path and attain enlightenment,
yeah,
I don't think so. It's necessary to give up non-vegetarian. I think as long as you have bhakti.
Have I ever, in any of my calls, have I insisted on you must be vegetarian?
No, sir. Like I'm generally telling, like I
But
was seeing
my
a video that
my-
the ISKCON Foundation is not even eating garlic and onions.
Then, but Dalai Lama is eating meat. You know, Dalai Lama, the head of Buddhism, he's eating meat. Then what do you have to say about it? So what I'm saying, eating meat and not eating meat does not become a subject of enlightenment and not enlightenment. Yes, the person who becomes enlightened will avoid all these things, because why should I kill and eat? he will not want to do it unless, like when they asked Dalai Lama, he said, because for my health reason and because I'm living in a cold temperature, I'm eating. I don't know. This is, I read somewhere, I heard somebody saying it. But where I am concerned, it is very important for us to, and eating meat is bad for your body, because the human body is not supposed to put all that meat inside, because that meat is basically corrupt. It is rajasic and tamasic food. It is not sattvic. Now, if you tell I don't want to eat garlic and I don't want to eat potato and I only want to eat sukhi sabzi, fine. For me, my practical advice is enlightenment is beyond what you eat. It is what is eating you. What is important is not what you eat, but what is eating you. If your mind is eating you, that is a big problem. You better take care of that first, not what you're eating. That is second. Okay, next question. Anybody live? Otherwise, there's a question from Jyotri. He always gives typed question, but let me address. What suggestion will you be giving for the student of school, college, university, how to manage both path of enlightenment and education path? You must be educated, but you must not be indoctrinated. Huh? You understood? You must be educated. Educate means educate is to know. Just Google the meaning of the root word education. What is there? What is the root word? Educa. It comes from knowledge. Education is not somebody like a parrot. Huh? From the parrot, you keep on saying, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya. No, what is that? That is being indoctrinated. The word educate means to mold. The word, it comes from the Latin word educare. Educate. So the word education, the root word, you must understand, it is to educate. And educate means educate is coming to it's just like to enlighten. All right. So have you answered the question? Next question live, please. Avinash.
Yes, sir. Avinash here. Yeah.
Yes,
The
Avinash.
question is that one of my friends, he is not getting sleep at night, and he is so depressed. And he is not interested in this spiritual knowledge also, and is not ready to come on the call. So, any quick tip that can bring him to connecting or self-love?
Make him here. Take you please WhatsApp me. I'll send you some mantra. You play the mantra,
Sure.
and he will just hear that mantra, and he will fall asleep. 1 or 2 days when he falls asleep, then he will believe you. Right
Okay,
now you
sure.
want, because right now he's not willing to take straight. So you have to
Yeah.
find a crooked way to take it. Correct. So you
Yeah.
just play Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. You play 15 minutes, he would be sleeping.
Sure.
Because why? What will
Sure.
happen in that listening to that sound, his mind will become calm. When his mind will become calm, he will fall asleep. Then when he wakes
Great.
up, then you can tell him, I will give you a solution. Then you bring him to the call. Then he will transcend the mind. Then he will have no depression. People who have enlightenment have no depression. People who are enlightened are in, you ask Ashok Chotwani, he says so loudly, Sat Chit Ananda. Ashok Chotwani, I want to be always in bliss, in peace. Yeah, because after all, this is all natak. Why should we be worried? People who are not realized, oh, they are worried every time, every day they are worried. Oh, what will happen? Oh, what will happen? What will happen? Nothing will happen. The person who has enlightened, who is in the path of enlightenment, nothing will happen. Maximum, I will die. I will die. So what? I will die. No, then what will happen? So what? Why should we worry? Huh? The person who's enlightened doesn't worry. A person who's enlightened, if there's a problem, he says, why worry? There is no need to worry. If there's a problem, there is no need to worry. If you can do something about your problem, there is no need to worry. If there's nothing you can do about your problem, there is no need to worry. The person doesn't worry. But the person who's not enlightened, what happens? Oh God, what is going to happen? Oh God. When we think of God, Avinash, when do we think of God?
When we are in trouble, we
Only
don't
when we are
know
in trouble.
how
Huh?
to come out of that. Yeah.
That's why what Kabir Das said, सुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोय, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, तो दुख काहे होए. So the problem is that if you start remembering God in good times, then there will be no bad times. The problem is we forget God. When we are dancing and having whiskey and beer, and when you're having wine and you're dancing and enjoy, anybody thinks of God, and you think of like God, chodo chodo, baad mein baat karenge. No, they are not thinking. So try to please make your friend listen to some. I told you you have my number. If not, please take my
Yes,
number
yes.
and ask
yeah.
for the mantra. We'll send you the mantra. Just play it. It's a very
Sure.
simple mantra. Shivoham, Shivoham. He will fall asleep. I can be sure.
Sure,
You can be
sure,
sure he
sure.
will fall asleep.
Thank you,
Next
sir.
question.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Next question. Anybody? I have a written question before that live. Okay. Can death clarify? This is from Uday. Can death clarify what one ought to care about in life? How so? Does death render life ultimately meaningless? Very interesting question. In Bangalore, there's a lot of death because of Puneet Rajkumar. He passed away 2-3 days back. Those of you who don't know, he's a star son of Dr. Rajkumar. He passed away at the age of 46. Sanjay Das, you know about Puneet Rajkumar, Sanjay Das? Sanjay Das, you know about Puneet Rajkumar? You don't know him. Have you all heard?
Sir, he was a renowned actor and he was doing a lot of charity and a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
Due to which heart attack he got. And
Kumar Swami, you also know Kumar Swami? Okay. So he died at the age of 46. He died on 29th of October. And yesterday they buried him. I don't know why they buried, because normally we with Hindu, we burn. So can death clarify what one ought to care about in life? Death gives a warning. What does death remind you? Death reminds you, hello, tomorrow may be your last day. Today may be your last day. Are you ready to go? Huh? Ding dong, ding dong. Bridget, you understand, Bridget? You understand? Death is reminding you, are you ready? Is your bags packed? Have you packed your bag? We are going. Huh? Death is coming and asking, are you ready? Does death render life meaningless? No. Death does not render life meaningless. Death makes you ponder. See, there are two types of people. One person says, ayo, Puneet mar gaya, sabko marna hai. Everybody has to die. So why worry about it? Everybody has to die. But the realized person asks the question, what if I have to die? What must I do before I die? Is there something I should achieve? Is it because some people say, I just have to write all my property in the name of my children? If you don't write also, they will get it. Don't worry. The law provides that your children will get it. What is there to worry about? Your neighbor will not take it. What you have to worry about is, before you die, death is reminding you. How many of you have seen a dead body? I don't know how many of you saw the cremation, the burial of Puneet Rajkumar. Okay, it's there in internet. You go and see the burial or the cremation of a person, a famous person. Many famous persons on YouTube. One day, you and me, we will die. And people will say, we passed away. Now people say, Puneet Rajkumar, where is he? Oh, he is already with his mother and father. His mother and father have died some years ago. Now Puneet Rajkumar has gone to his mother and father. Is it so? All the three are in the same Kantirva studio. All three are buried here. The bodies are buried here. Then who has gone? Who has gone? Who has gone to the heavens? We human beings, death does not make life meaningless. Death gives purpose to life. Death shakes us up. It makes us realize. It wakes us up. What does death do? It shakes us, it wakes us, and it makes us realize. And it takes us to the truth. You remember? Death, it wakes us and shakes us and makes us realize and takes us to the truth. This is what death does. But many of us, even after people die and people die and people die, It makes no change. Many of us, we are unaffected by death because we are what is like they say in my school. One teacher used to tell the student, "You are thick-skinned." Why he used to tell the children, "You are thick-skinned"? That boy, he will not do homework. He will take the scale and he will hit on his knuckles. He will take the metal scale, tuck, 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 10, 20, 30, 40 times hits the knuckles. Next day he'll ask, "Hey, Roger, show me your homework." And what Roger will do? Roger will come and show knuckles. Roger will not show homework. Roger will just come and say, "Yes, sir, here are my knuckles." Then he'll tap, 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 tap. Next day, "Roger, that is the homework." Roger said, "Please take my knuckles." Then he tells Roger, "You are thick-skinned. You are like a thick-skinned buffalo." He stopped beating. The teacher said, "What is the point of beating a fellow? How much ever I beat him, he will not do his homework." So, my dear friend, how much ever some of us see death, we are like thick-skinned buffaloes. We do not realize the meaning of what is life. Death should shake us and wake us and make us realize and take us to the truth. Death is thank you, Uday, for a lovely question which ended. Whenever you want to contemplate enlightenment, please start with death. It's a very, very strong subject to take us there. My dear friends, as usual, I am grateful to you for your lovely questions and your engaging participation. Time has come to an end. Tomorrow, God willing, we will have a date at 8. Shivoham, God bless you.